chance to talk to Coach Hartley last week. He just talked about how far you've come in your time at Georgia. When you look over this last year, where do you feel like you've grown the most as a tight end?
Yeah, I've definitely grown the most in like the run blocking aspect part of the game. Just working on those fundamentals that I didn't focus on as much in high school, and like my footwork, and just really getting stronger in the weight room and just being able to move those bigger guys on the line.
Yeah, how much of that development was weight gain? I know in high school you were about 225. What are you weighing now, and where does that weight come from?
Yeah, I'm about 245 right now. They want me to play like kind of around that weight, and just as much as I can maintain. The biggest thing was just getting stronger in the weight room, and just really just getting my legs stronger, my chest bigger, arms stronger, and everything, and just working out a ton, just trusting the strength coaches and strength staff and the nutrition staff, and just eating everything they told me to, and just buying into the process, and just really just trying to put on as much weight as possible and just get used to it, run around in it, and playing fast and playing big.
I mean this in kind of a lighthearted way, but do you feel like you're the next Brock Bowers, and is that something that you aspire to be? I know you've heard the comparisons for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, he's great. I love playing with Brock and everything. I mean, I'm just trying to be the next Oscar Delp. I mean, obviously everyone wants to be like Brock Bowers and make the plays that he makes, and they're crazy, and it's great to have a guy like that in the room that can kind of mentor me and also just be one of my buddies that I just hang out with. But I mean, I'm just trying to focus on my game and just be the next Oscar Delp.
Yeah, Hartley mentioned that a lot of the tight ends here recruits now, like you, guys like Pierce, who didn't play a lot of tight end in high school, you're split out more. Like, how hard is it when you get here to take into account, hey, I've got to be a blocker now, I've got to be more than a receiver? Like, is there a moment when you first got here, like your role was a lot different than maybe it was in high school?
Oh yeah, I mean, just coming in from offensive high school where I'm flexed out the whole time, put my hand in the dirt a little, but I mean, you're not going against guys that are recruited specifically to play outside linebacker and play defensive end, and that's just the biggest thing, is just getting your hands on those big guys and realizing just how much the fundamentals and the little things that Coach Hartley teaches us, how much you need those to be successful in the run game, and really just focusing on every play, and just you can't let the fatigue kind of take away your technique and everything. And that's just the biggest thing I've been working on, and that you have to work on when you're coming to that next level.
Oscar, could you reflect on the Ohio State game when Darnell went out, you were pressed in action, and then if you could follow up, how much more prepared now in terms of bigger, stronger, faster are you than you were in that game?
Yeah, I remember watching that game and seeing Darnell go down, and I didn't think he was going to be out for long, but he happened to stay out, and I knew it was just my turn to go in, and the coaches don't care who's up next. I mean, if you're on the depth chart next, you're gonna play, and I was prepared and I was ready. I knew everything I had to do. I was definitely a lot lighter. Felt like I was a little kid amongst men out there playing against some of those big dudes, and I'd definitely be way more comfortable going in there now at the weight I'm at. But just knowing everything I had to do and just not getting flustered by the play calls or anything was just the biggest thing. And that's one thing that Georgia does really well, is just make sure everyone's ready to play, because they have that next man up mentality. They don't care who's up next. If your number's called, they expect you to go in and do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, given that game happened at the end of the year, how important do you think it was for you to get that experience, especially going into an offseason where you are going to have a chance to carve out a bigger role?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome getting in there and getting to experience a game like that, and just an atmosphere like that, and to kind of look back on now and be like, okay, I did that, kind of got that big first game out of the way, and just kind of got that off my shoulders. So I'm really excited for this season, and to hopefully play in some more really big games, and just really excited for this season.
Talking about Darnell and the blocking ability, what is it that you took away from your year with him, to learn technique-wise and stuff as a blocker?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys that can do everything a tackle does, and then run any route you ask him to, and just looking at the stuff that he did with his footwork and his hands, and just the little things that Coach Hartley teaches us, and that Darnell was there for a long time to kind of understand and learn and be able to teach me was big in my growth as a freshman last year.
Yeah, Oscar, I'm curious, not having had to block defensive ends in high school, was there ever like a welcome to the show kind of moment in college? Was there ever a wow, this is different type of feel? And is there any type of advice you've given to a guy like Pierce, like Jed said, who didn't really have much experience as a blocker coming in?
Oh yeah, I mean, some people know the story. When I came here early when they were playing the Orange Bowl their first year of the national championship, And I didn't even know what a 6 tech was, and that's basically just the head of DN. And I was in there my first day in pads, kind of wasn't even on the roster yet or at the school yet, but the freshmen come in and practice with the team for that camp. And the first person I went against was Travon Walker, and he literally just, I didn't even know what I was doing or what a 6 tech was, and it's just a drill where they basically put one-on-one, just run at each other, and best man wins. And he basically just walked me back as far as he wanted, and I was just, that's when I knew I had to do a lot of things to play in the SEC and play for Georgia. But yeah, I mean, I've talked to Pierce and guys like Lawson and Pierce, they're coming, they're doing a great job. And, you know, it's just that first camp is always a really tough one because you're just really you got a lot thrown at you, a lot thrown on your plate, and just all these bigger dudes. And you just got to keep buying into the process and just keep working at it every day. And he's doing well, and he's starting to pick it up and understand it. And everyone was in those shoes at one point, and it's just like you just got to keep going and buy into the process and just keep trusting the coaches.
Kirby said the other day after the scrimmage, he talked to you guys about this team hasn't done anything yet. You know, how often do you hear that kind of message from the coaching staff that it's a kind of a reset and you know, you guys have to be hungry still?
Yeah, I mean, every day. I think everyone on the team knows that, except for the two guys or the 2 rows kind of sitting in the front team room that have been there for those past 2 national championships. But I mean, no one's viewing as it like we're owed anything, and I think everyone's in here hungry or wanting to prove something. A lot of guys in my class that haven't really got to play yet or show what they can do are really excited to play this year and prove themselves. And I mean, no one's thinking about last year or in the future. We're just kind of focused on this moment now, one moment at a time.
Yeah, how does being in a tight end in room with Brock Bowers and seeing him more practice, do everything that he does, how does that help make your own game better and make you a better tight end?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, having a guy like that in our room to kind of teach me and the younger guys and everyone else in that room is just, it's huge. It's almost like having another coach in there. I mean, he's an awesome dude. He's one of my best friends on the team, and we're hanging out all the time. But just the way he approaches practice and meetings and walkthroughs and everything, it really puts everything in a different perspective, and I think it pushes everyone in the room a little bit more.
So I know Coach Bobo said that he's going to try and use a lot of the same lingo that you guys did use last year, so there's not a lot of confusion. But is there a difference in leadership style between him and Coach Monken, and like what have you seen from him since he stepped up into that role?
I think it's pretty similar. I mean, he hasn't done anything to change the playbook where people are confused. I mean, he's really just doing what every good offense coordinator is doing. I mean, he's game planning around our playmakers and our best players and just what he thinks is going to work. And I think the offense is great so far. And basically,
Oscar, just what's the competition like day to day in that tight end room? Having Brock, having Pierce and Lawson, just going through day to day, knowing all the really good players in that room.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, you get to every period, someone different makes a crazy play, and it kind of just pushes you to, you got to go make that next one. And it's fun. I mean, a lot of competition in that room. Just from, I mean, we're having no competition, so you could gain the most weight in the off season. So I mean, it's something new every day, and those guys are awesome to compete with, and we definitely each push each other every day and every practice.
What do you think when you hear the term three-peat, and is it a forbidden phrase within the football complex?
I mean, I wasn't here for the first one, so I mean, it doesn't really mean much to me. I'm just hoping to get one where I can really kind of feel like I contributed and I worked for it. So I'm really just focused on this season. I mean, no one really talks about that stuff. We're just focused on this year and what we can do this year.
Obviously, it's the catches and things like that make SportsCenter and stuff, but the blocking ability as well. Can you talk about what it feels like to make a big block like that?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's something I really had to learn from high school. I mean, now I feel like I enjoy blocking, and when a big play's called where I know I have to make a big block, like I get excited for it, and that's it's almost like the same as making a big play. I mean, Coach Hartley says sometimes like he'd rather us just own the line of scrimmage than be that tight end room that makes all these catches. I mean, it's really, we look at it like a run first offense in a tight end room rather than all those big catches and pretty stuff.
Oscar, Coach Bobo was talking about competition for 11 best, and I guess that was maybe looking at maybe double tight end, 12 personnel versus 11. Is there any actual competition? Do they chart how you guys do with 3 wide versus 2 tight, or do you guys keep up, or how do you make your argument for that formation versus maybe a 3 wide?
Yeah, I mean, it's really just we run a lot of 12 personnel, a lot of 11 personnel. It's different every practice, And it's really just whoever makes the most plays gives us the best chance to win is who's going to be out on that field. So, I mean, it really pushes the wide receiver group and the tight end group and the running backs just to make plays. And he's going to put the 11 best out there, and he doesn't care. And it'll also change, I think, game week for game plans and certain things. But it's really just 11 best are going to play, so it just kind of pushes every unit to kind of play a little harder and make bigger plays and kind of make a kind of name for your room and why you should be out there on that field.
Let's take 2 more questions.
Oscar, 2 questions. 1, who won the weight gain competition in the offseason? And 2, what makes Todd Hartley such a good tight ends coach?
Yeah, for first one, I think I kind of won that. I'm about 245 right now. I was probably 230 at the end of last year, and they didn't want Brock gain that much weight because they want him to still be pretty fast. And sorry, what was that second question?
What makes Todd Hartley stand out as a tight ends coach?
Yeah, I mean, he's just got so much passion, and he really cares about each of us, and you can tell that he wants all of us to just be great and accomplish our goals that he wants for us. And he cares about us so much. He's always reaching out to our families and our parents and everything, and he's just always like involved in our lives almost every day we're with him, and you can just tell that he really wants us to be great, and he like what he sees in you is what he's gonna try to get out of you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Oscar.